Russell Westbrook just broke a 47-year-old record for most triple-doubles in a career, surpassing the Big O and cementing himself among the NBA immortals. He's also leading a revitalization of the Wizards themselves, winners of 15 of their last 20 games. And the key to their success isn't so much the fact that Russ is filling up the box score so voluminously. It seems more about the personnel surrounding him that allows Russ to unlock his true, authentic, and inner Brody. Examining Russ's assist profile reveals a very unique playing style. No other top assist getter in the NBA relies as heavily on transition assists like Russ does. This makes sense considering the Wizards play with the highest pace in the NBA so far, but it's also related to all the defensive rebounding Russ vacuums up to ignite the fast break. Rui Hachimura is a favorite target for his bullets, and he knows he can sneak out a little early knowing Russ is back there to grab rebounds, putting a ton of pressure on the defense as they focus on Russ off the dribble and lose track of lane fillers. One way Russ gets dimes on the break is because his gravity sucks multiple players to him, like Bryn Forbes here, opening up easy passes for wide open shots like Raul Neto gets in the left corner. Same exact thing happens to Connaughton as he gets both feet in the lane despite the defense being in perfectly fine position to guard Russ out top. And it's awfully nice to have a finisher like Beal to pass to and rack up dimes. Speaking of which, you're simply not going to average double-digit assists without a teammate who can do a lot of the work by himself. Russ routinely grabs boards and passes ahead early to Beal so he can get his wizardry done on a variety of tough finishes from all over the floor, knocking in shots that only he and a handful of other players could possibly make. I also want to point out how good Russ is at anticipating where the rebound is going to go and pouncing on it before anyone else can. Great anticipation of the long rebound, and his quickness gets him to the spot, triggering another fast break that didn't have a clear-cut advantage, but Russ finds a way with a gentle alley-oop. He'll get his share of tough rebounds, where he needs to fight for them in the air, ripping this one down before running the break down the middle, and after weighing his options, finds the trailing Daniel Gafford on a semi-no-look flip for a vicious dunk and assist to Russ. Speaking of Gafford, it was the trade from Chicago in mid-season that has triggered this resurgence by the Wizards. His energy is infectious, he's everywhere at all times, and while his contributions to the defense are significant, it's his chemistry with Russ that has led to a lot more points for the offense. Before Gafford's arrival, the Wizards ranked 25th in offensive rating. Over the last 20 games, they're ranked 5th. One key is that Russ gets these assists almost primarily when attacking from the wing, in a very traditional shooting guard role. On this inside ball screen to left wing, Russ attacks the middle with his strong right hand, forces the center to rotate, and drops it off to let Gafford do the rest. Watch how Gafford positions himself on the weak side as Russ goes to work on the face-up post-up, then circles around as the ball gets into the middle. Russ lures the help by making it look like he's going to shoot it before dumping it off for the strong finish. Same type of action here, and while he doesn't get up in the air, Russ simulates the footwork into the gather for a layup that fools Jackson Hayes into the air, as Gafford circles underneath, gets the feed, and powers it home. The reason Russ's assist profile looks so much different than traditional point guards is exactly this. He isn't dependent on actions with him out top running the pick and roll, for instance. He's much more effective after the defense is shifted and he can attack from strategic spots like the low post and the wings. A complete turnaround like the Wizards have done wouldn't be possible without some severe lineup changes, and credit Scott Brooks for realizing that certain players weren't fitting around his backcourt. By comparing the beginning of the season to the last 15 games, he severely reduced Garrison Matthews and Robin Lopez's minutes while upping Raul Neto and Davis Bertans' minutes, as well as the addition of Gafford from the Bulls. But it's also an adjustment of specific lineups, like increasing the minutes of both Neto and Ish Smith alongside Russ, effectively making him that two guard we were talking about. And it's a holistic effect on the Wizards, because having Neto and Smith on the floor means Russ doesn't guard the lead ball handling guard as much. And as a result, it enables him to spend the majority of his possessions on the weak side, guarding someone who tends to spot up in the corner, not moving much at all, so Russ can hang around the lane line and simply turn to grab the errant shot. He's averaging a career high in defensive rebounds this season, and it's extremely dependent on who he's guarding in the modern era of the NBA, where teams will run an initial action into a spread where there tends to be almost no movement on the weak side. So Russ is taking full advantage in defending these types of attacks. And we already established how the Wizards benefit greatly from the fast break being ignited by Russ rebounds. Passing Oscar Robertson for anything is an incredible feat, and while it took 47 years for someone to come along and eclipse the all-time triple-double mark, something tells me that the style of play we see in the NBA will lead to more and more triple-doubles. While Russ's record might get broken someday, with the way he's playing at age 32, he's still got plenty of time to increase his lead. If you like learning about the NBA and the game of basketball in general, hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below. There will be tons of content coming up as the playoffs are almost upon us. After all, at B-Ball Breakdown, it's not a channel, it's a conversation. You in?